Well, today on Cincinnati People, we are talking with Ray Anderson from Cincinnati Animal Care. Ray, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for chatting with me, Catherine. I appreciate it.
All right, so for people who don't know, tell us what Cincinnati Animal Care is.
Yeah, the best thing that we can say to describe ourselves is we're the county animal shelter. What many moons ago would have been called the dog pound.
Right.
We are the county animal shelter. We're the one and only county shelter that services Hamilton County. In the state of Ohio, every county has to provide stray dog pickup and stray dog hold for 3 days. That's the bare minimum required by the Ohio Revised Code. Most counties, a lot of counties will partner with a humane society to kind of run that and put different programming in place, additional programming in place. So we partner with Hamilton County. This is a county function. There is no city shelter. We're the one and only shelter servicing all of Cincinnati and all of Hamilton County.
And you guys have done some different things since taking over that position in 2020, including you guys are no-kill. You're a no-kill shelter.
Correct. There's a lot of different ways to interpret what that means. The nationwide benchmark is 90%. If 90% of the animals leave alive, that's considered no kill. Now, for us, we don't necessarily subscribe to that. We have a 95.2% live release rate. We're very proud of the work we do, but the analogy I always give is if you had 100 dogs and you had to euthanize 10 of them just for space, we would not consider that. I would not consider that no kill.
Yeah, I don't think many people would. Yeah.
Yeah. For us, it's if you have 100 dogs and 50 are coming in, they have terminal illnesses, they've been injured, like they've got hit by a car, or they're an imminent threat to public safety. Those are the cases where you might have to make a call like that. But we believe in saving every animal that can be saved.
And you guys are doing some really interesting things there, whether it's deals, $9 deals in honor of Joe Burrow to adopt a dog, or I love the new pet adoption center. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we just opened what we call the Cincinnati Animal Care Pet Adoption Center in the Pleasant Ridge, Norwood area. It's like literally right on the border. I think technically it's Columbia Township, but Columbia Township.
Love those areas around town,
Norwood, it's where the Lowe's is in Pleasant Ridge on Highland Avenue, 3262 Highland Avenue. This is not a second shelter. We are working with the county. The county has set aside some funds in 2023 for some research on a new site. We're looking for a full-blown new shelter. The shelter we operate out of now was built in the 1960s to be that dog pound. And it kind of outlived its usefulness, I'd say probably in the 80s. We knew that going in. We knew when we took on the county contract, we'd be using an old building like that. And sometimes animal shelters can be a little overwhelming, not just for pets, but for people as well. It's loud. I know a lot of people think it's sad. Again, we are very proud of the work we do there, but at the end of the day, seeing dogs in 6x12 concrete kennels is not a life that we want for these animals. So for us, we wanted to create something that was a little bit more of that pet store vibe. A lot of people, you still have that mindset. A lot of people like, I got all my pets from the pet store. And we want you to be comfortable and have fun when you adopt, but we want you to adopt rather than purchase. Adopt, don't shop, as they say.
Adopt, don't shop. But in addition to that, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, I don't think I can adopt right now, but fostering is a great kind of middle ground, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. And most of the animals that come to the Pet Adoption Center are animals from our foster program. We have about 200 dogs on site at the shelter. We have about another 200 dogs and probably another 100 cats living in foster homes, which means instead of having to live in those concrete kennels at the shelter, they get to live in a home, usually by themselves, maybe with one other resident pet in the home. And that's where we learn so much more about the animal in that environment. We learn how they behave in a home versus how they behave in a shelter. Think about it. If you were in a place where you had basically a fence separating you between 100 other people, you'd probably be a little annoyed dealing with that. So getting the animals out of the shelter is so crucial to what we do. And our foster families will often take their pets to the Pet Adoption Center on weekends. We're open Saturdays and Sundays, usually right before the shelter opens too. We're open 10 to 2 there, and we're open 1 to 6 at the shelter in Northside. And that foster program is just so crucial to what we do. We say fostering saves lives. We say fostering is the future. Those are not just cute slogans. For us, this is the reality of what we deal with. We take in nearly 8,000 animals a year, and with 100 appropriate kennels at the shelter, that's mathematically, there's no way for us to house only one animal per kennel and be no kill without fostering. Fostering literally saves lives. And when you adopt an animal from a foster home, you're saving 2 lives, because you're saving that animal and you're allowing somebody, that foster, to take another animal out of the shelter, and you're opening up a kennel for another dog to come in. So really, you're helping 3 dogs.
That's amazing. And speaking of dogs, that's the need right now. You guys are pushing puppies, I guess it should be, and dogs as well.
We've got My Furry Valentine quickly approaching here. Coming up in just a couple weeks. We moved it back a week because last year it happened to coincide with the Super Bowl, which we never expected that would happen. So My Furry Valentine is going to be the weekend of the 17th this year. And really, dogs is where we really need the help. We do have cats, but we have not really hit that critical capacity level on cats at pretty much any point in the last year, whereas dogs, we've really been over capacity since 2021.
What should people look for if they're like they're thinking, you know what, I think I'd like to either add another dog to our family or the first? What should they be looking for?
Sure. And that's a great question, and probably one with multiple answers. We treat every animal as an individual at the shelter because they all have their own unique needs and personalities, just like every family does. Yeah. Every family has their own unique needs. So we always ask, a lot of folks think they need to call us and set an appointment or things like that. We say, come on down. Our doors are open. We're open 7 days a week from 1 to 6 at the shelter in Northside. And we want to chat with you. We want to find out what home looks like for you. We're not going to put up the barriers like you have to own your home. You have to have a 6-foot fence. You have to have veterinary records going back to the 1990s. We're not gonna put those kind of barriers in front of you. Those are a lot of socioeconomic barriers that get put in place a lot of times. We want to get to know you. We don't want to be intrusive or anything like that, but we want to know, what does home look like and what animals look like they're going to be the right fit there. What I always tell people is, when you come into the shelter, a lot of times people look on our website and they say, oh, this dog's cute, that dog's cute, or they might come to the shelter and say the dog in kennel 36 looks like my kind of dog, and that might be a good starting point. But for us, it's more of, we might not have the dog you think you wanted when you came in the door, but we have the dog you never know you needed when you walk out.
You got to see him in person. And speaking of which, let's talk about that website, because this is like online shopping before you go and buy. It's like window shopping, but it's like windows on your computer shopping.
Yes, we always encourage people to go to the website. It's cincycare.org or cincinnatianimalcare.org. Either one will work. Just got newly redesigned. It's a whole new website. It looks great. Our web guy did a great job on it. And yeah, every adoptable animal is on our website, and it updates in real time. Or if your pet ever goes missing, we post all the found pets on there as well, and that updates in real time. So if your pet's missing, you can keep an eye there. You can submit a lost pet report as well. But if you're looking to adopt or foster, you can go right on there. You'll see if they're in the shelter, and you can come on down and meet them today, or you can see if they're in a foster home, and we can help get you set up with the foster family.
Awesome. Ray, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
We really appreciate chatting with us, Catherine. Thank you so much.